Is there a crisis in confidence in the police, or are we just being told that there is?
No, there is a crisis of confidence in police. But the other thing to say by way of introduction is many thousands of police people do a fantastic job every single day, and I want to pay tribute to them. The crisis of confidence comes from a series of scandals that have happened in the last few weeks. You've reported them, I'm sure. But the other thing that's not working is some of the basics aren't getting done. Crimes aren't followed up. Community policing has come to an end, so police have withdrawn from some areas. Police are spending too much time cleaning up other social problems like missing people from social care and so on, which is taking 3 million investigation hours of police every single year, enough to police the whole of North Yorkshire. So there's a lot of distractions, but the government are rightly getting 20,000 new police officers into place, which will help. But the other thing is the police are not keeping up with the changes in technology. So we have a kind of analogue police force dealing with a digital set of crimes.
And this is quite worrying, that last point you make there, because I believe 40% of all crime is actually now online crime. So the idea that the police are ineffective at dealing with a considerable proportion of crime, that is very worrying to many people.
It is worrying, and sometimes people talk about online crime as online fraud as a victimless crime. It isn't. It's people's pensions being stolen and such like things. So it's a very troubling statistic. And 43 police forces and the new police people that are being appointed won't solve that problem. We need to look at other solutions to online crime, and that involves strengthening the National Crime Agency, among other things. So we really need to move our policing and approach to crime well into the 21st century. I know ministers are trying to do this, but there's a long way to go.
Yeah, there is a long way to go. It's a tricky one, though, isn't it? Because obviously we have police by consent in this country, and rightly so. And, you know, the police's issues must have been compounded by a lot of the lockdown laws, the coronavirus act, for example, because the public, the vast majority of whom I think hated that, really, and saw it as a bit of an overreach, potentially, from of police power. And that wasn't the police's fault. They were being told to enforce these laws, weren't they? And that must have been a very difficult situation. It's probably not made the current situation any easier, has it?
No, it hasn't made the current situation any easier. You're quite right. And policing by consent is a fundamental British thing going right back to 1829 and the Robert Peel introduction of the Metropolitan Police back then. And it's a very important tradition, and it involves the public having confidence in the police and the police building the right relationship with the public. And that's at stake because of these some really grotesque scandals of the last few months, but also because some of these basics aren't being followed up. So quite a lot of people are complaining, for example, that you report a burglary, the police don't even try to investigate it, they just give you a crime number. People feel policing's not on top of the challenges they face. Now, that's not because police officers are bad people. The vast majority of them are fantastic officers, as I said earlier, but they do need better technology. They do need the extra 20,000 police officers, and we do need greater strength at the centre, at the national level, to deal with online fraud, which might be from anywhere in the world, not necessarily an online fraud in Warwick isn't necessarily from somewhere, from within Warwick. It could be